On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Doodle.
To draw or scribble absent-mindedly or idly, to make aimless marks or designs.
Examples:
Doodle my way through life. Doodle in a notebook. When on the phone, he likes to doodle little sketches in the margins of his notepad.
Fascinate.
To attract and hold the attention of someone deeply and irresistibly.
Examples:
Fascinate the public. Fascinate the young. The magic tricks fascinated the children.
Crayon.
A stick of colored wax, charcoal, chalk, or other material used for drawing or coloring. Verb, to draw or color with crayons, which are sticks of colored wax, chalk, or charcoal used for drawing or coloring.
Examples:
Crayon drawing. Crayon her coloring books. The teacher handed out several different colored crayons to each student.
Evoke.
To bring or recall a feeling, memory, or image into your mind.
Examples:
Evoke a sense of awe. Evoke sympathy. This movie is likely to evoke strong emotions in the viewer.
Folklore.
Traditional customs, beliefs, stories, and songs of a community, passed down orally.
Examples:
Folklore tradition. Folklore myth. The area's folklore tells of a ghost that haunts the old mill.
Puddle.
A small pool of water, especially on a flat surface, a small and usually shallow accumulation of any liquid substance.
Examples:
Puddle of water. Step in a puddle. The rain had formed a large puddle on the sidewalk.
Meadow.
A field of grass and wildflowers, especially one used for hay.
Examples:
Graze in the meadow. Lowland meadow. The lush meadow was covered in wildflowers.
Grotto.
Also grot, a small cave or cavern, often with a natural or artificial structure that makes it suitable for use as a shelter, shrine, or place of worship.
Examples:
Underground grotto. Shrine grotto. The ancient temple has a beautiful indoor grotto with natural rock formations.
Manta.
A large, flat-bodied fish related to rays found in warm ocean waters around the world.
Examples:
Manta conservation. Manta dive. The marine biologist observed a graceful manta ray gliding through the ocean.
Lagoon.
A shallow stretch of water separated from a larger body of water by sandbanks or coral reefs, a small saltwater lake near a sea or an ocean.
Examples:
Lagoon Island. Lagoon Paradise. The mangroves around the lagoon provide a habitat for a unique ecosystem.
Critter.
A small or unimportant creature or animal, often used in a familiar or affectionate way.
Examples:
Cute critter. Wild critter. During their camping trip, the kids were excited to go critter hunting in the woods.
Humpback.
A large whale that has a hump on its back and long flippers, found in both the northern and southern hemispheres.
Examples:
Humpback mountain. Humpback bridge. The humpback whale is known for its distinctive songs that can travel great distances.
Dinosaur.
A large extinct reptile, often with an armored back, long neck, tail, and bony plates on the skin.
Examples:
Hulking dinosaur. Dinosaur fossil. The discovery of a new dinosaur species made headlines in the scientific community.
Fang.
A long, pointed tooth, typically in the upper jaw, used for biting and chewing, as in snakes and some other animals.
Examples:
Fang mark. Poison fang. The vampire bared its fangs and growled.
Bioluminescence.
The production and emission of light by living creatures, such as glowworms, fireflies, etc.
Examples:
Firefly bioluminescence. Bioluminescence of biological sample. Certain squids acquire symbiotic bioluminescence by feeding on specific microorganisms.
Headlight.
A bright forward-facing light on a vehicle, typically used at night to illuminate the road ahead.
Examples:
Headlight adjustment. Headlight switch. My car's headlight must be replaced before I drive again at night.
Superhero.
A fictional hero who possesses extraordinary powers and abilities and is dedicated to protecting the public.
Examples:
Superhero movies. Superhero comics. Superman is a classic superhero known for his superhuman strength and flying ability.
Cucumber.
A long and green fruit with thin skin and crisp, refreshing flesh, typically eaten as a vegetable.
Examples:
A cucumber face mask. Several varieties of cucumbers. I like to slice cucumber and put it on my sandwiches.
Entangle.
To become twisted or knotted together, especially in a way that makes it difficult to separate them. To involve in something complicated or difficult to escape.
Examples:
Entangle in wires. Emotionally entangle. The vines of the plant entangled themselves around the trellis.
Blowfish.
A type of fish that can inflate its body by swallowing water or air, making it appear larger to deter predators, known for their distinctive, spiky appearance and are found in tropical and subtropical waters.
Examples:
Blowfish fishery, blowfish toxin. The chef needed special training to prepare the blowfish delicacy, ensuring it was safe to eat.
Hulk.
A large, abandoned, and decaying structure or object, often referring to a ship or building, a person or animal who is large and clumsy or who appears physically imposing but lacks strength or agility.
Examples:
Hulk of a warehouse, Hulk-like strength. The shipwreck's hulk lay scattered along the shore.
Intimidate.
To make someone fearful or uneasy so that they will do something that you want them to do.
Examples:
Intimidate an opponent. Effectively intimidate a thief. The boss tried to intimidate his subordinate with threats.
Inflated.
Swollen or blown up, especially with air or gas, excessively or unreasonably high.
Examples:
Inflated prices. An inflated balloon. The athlete's ego became inflated by their success.
Inflate.
To fill something with air or gas so that it becomes bigger and rounder.
Examples:
Inflate a tire. Inflate expense reports. She inflated the balloons for the party.
Swordfish.
A large predatory fish with a long, sword-like bill or upper jaw, known for its streamlined body and speed.
Examples:
Swordfish steak. Grilled swordfish. The restaurant specializes in serving fresh swordfish dishes.
Stab.
To cause harm with a sharp, pointed object, such as a knife.
Examples:
Stab at the enemy with a knife. Stab in the chest. He was stabbed many times with scissors.
Razor.
A sharp blade used for shaving or cutting hair.
Examples:
Razor blade. An electric razor. He shaved with a razor to get a close shave.
Poisonous.
Containing or producing toxic substances, harmful or dangerous to living beings, often causing illness, injury, or death, capable of causing serious harm or destruction.
Examples:
Poisonous plants. Poisonous chemicals. Some species of poisonous snakes can be deadly to humans if bitten.
Barb.
A sharp projection or point, often on a plant or animal, a cutting remark or criticism that is meant to hurt or insult, a type of fishing lure that has small hooks and a brightly colored feather or hair.
Examples:
Barbed wire. Aim a barb. The politician's words were full of barbs designed to hurt his opponent.
Mold.
A hollow container used to give shape to liquid or soft substance, which then becomes solid in the same shape as the container, a soft, green, or gray growth that forms on stale food or objects exposed to warm, moist air for too long.
Examples:
A casting mold. Mold allergy. Mushrooms and mold are fungi.
Ruthless.
Lacking in pity or compassion, willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their goals, regardless of the consequences for others.
Examples:
Show ruthless behavior. Ruthless brutality. The dictator was known for his ruthless tactics and had no qualms about using violence to maintain power.
Predator.
An animal whose natural behavior is to prey on others.
Examples:
Apex predator. Sexual predators. The native South American animals were in danger because of the predator's arrival.
Sidekick.
A person who is closely associated with and supports another person, especially in a work or professional capacity, a person who is a close and loyal companion.
Examples:
A detective's sidekick. His best friend's sidekick. The superhero's sidekick was always there to help him.
Louse.
A small, wingless insect that lives on the bodies of mammals and birds, often considered a parasite, a contemptible or despicable person.
Examples:
Pubic louse. Louse egg. The child was sent home from school because of a lice infestation caused by one louse.
Hermit.
A person who lives alone or in seclusion from society, typically for religious or spiritual reasons. A person who avoids social interactions or seeks solitude.
Examples:
Hermit lifestyle. Mountain hermit. The hermit monk spent his entire life in solitary contemplation, far from the world's hustle.
Delinquent.
A person who regularly engages in minor criminal or antisocial activities, especially a young person, a person who has failed to neglect one's duty.
Examples:
A juvenile delinquent. Delinquent payments. The high rate of delinquents in the community has led to increased crime.
Jellyfish.
A marine creature with a soft, jelly-like body and tentacles for stinging.
Examples:
Spineless jellyfish. Jellyfish sting. The beach was filled with hundreds of jellyfish, so swimming was not recommended.
Kelp.
A large brown seaweed that grows in cold coastal waters.
Examples:
Kelp forest. Giant kelp. The coast was lined with beds of kelp swaying in the tide.
Undersea.
Located or occurring beneath the surface of the sea.
Examples:
Undersea earthquake. Undersea habitat. The undersea environment is very different from the surface, with unique flora and fauna.
Anglerfish.
A type of deep-sea fish that possesses a long, stalk-like appendage on its head with a glowing tip that it uses to attract prey, known for their unusual and often menacing appearance.
Examples:
Anglerfish habitat. Bioluminescent anglerfish. The deep-sea anglerfish is one of the ocean's most fascinating creatures, living in harsh and extreme conditions.
Elusive.
Difficult to find, define, achieve, or remember.
Examples:
An elusive criminal. Track down an elusive fact. The physicist who found the elusive particle won the Nobel Prize.
Octopus.
A sea creature with a soft round body and 8 long tentacles, equals long parts like arms.
Examples:
Giant octopus. Venomous octopus. He experienced nausea after eating live octopus.
Gyre.
A circular or spiral motion, particularly a vortex or large-scale system of rotating ocean currents.
Examples:
Gyre movement. Subtropical gyre. The trash caught in the gyre in the ocean, forming a massive garbage patch.
Storyline.
The central narrative or plot of a story, often involving a series of events or conflicts that move the story forward, the overall structure or arc of a story.
Examples:
Follow a storyline. Predictable storyline. The storyline of the movie was predictable, but still entertaining.
Wasteful.
Characterized by excessive or unnecessary use or consumption, using resources or materials inefficiently or inappropriately, resulting in unnecessary waste or expense.
Examples:
Wasteful practices. Wasteful habits. Buying new clothes every week is a wasteful use of money and resources.
Trawl.
To fish by dragging a net, often along the bottom of the ocean or river, to search or examine something thoroughly, often looking for a specific item or information.
Examples:
Trawl the internet for free music. Trawl for fish. The fisherman used a net to trawl the bottom of the river for his catch.
Overboard.
To an extreme or excessive degree, to a point where something becomes unreasonable or irrational.
Examples:
Fell overboard. Dumped overboard. He went overboard with his criticism, and it hurt her feelings.
Ostensible.
Appearing or seeming to be true, genuine, or plausible, but not necessarily so. Outwardly appearing or declared to be one thing while being something different or hidden.
Examples:
Ostensible reason. Ostensible explanation. The ostensible purpose of the meeting was to discuss budgeting, but the real topic was employee layoffs.
Disbelief.
The feeling of not being able to believe or accept that something is true or real.
Examples:
Disbelief in the authority. Ask in disbelief. His reaction was one of complete disbelief.
Alabaster.
A fine-grained, translucent form of gypsum or calcite that is often used for carving or sculpting, a pale, whitish color resembling alabaster.
Examples:
Alabaster sculpture. Alabaster candle holder. She placed a vase made of alabaster on the mantelpiece, adding elegance to the room.
Yell.
To shout in a sudden and loud way.
Examples:
Yell for help. Yell as loud as we can. When I asked my father for more money, he became furious and yelled at me.